Just know there's a ton of planets in Aquarius when technology starts getting wonky, when you start losing a concept of time, and when you start feeling a level of emotional detachment to things that just genuinely surprises you. So, just like him right here, you guys. He's like, right? That's what it is right now, you guys. We're all kind of like, what now? And this is what we're getting into this week for your weekly astrology, you guys. Thank you so much for being here for our forecast. Today is the stellium of all stelliums. Why do I say this? Well, you guys, we have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto joining the show, okay? This is significant because when we have Pluto in the mix, this is the depth, this is the intensity, this is the karmic buildup moment that is very uncomfortable, okay? And as your astrologer, I'm holding your hand, okay? And I'm saying we're gonna get through this moment, but it is gonna be a little bumpy and it is gonna feel heavy AF, okay? Why? Well, Pluto, you guys, I can't emphasize little Plutito enough, okay? Pluto comes in and is usually doing things on its own, right? It's not close to the sun's orbit, so meaning it's not touching our everyday life, okay? It's not affecting our sense of vitality, our essence, our approach to things, our energy levels. And Pluto is all about transformation, you guys. It's the Shiva of the zodiac. She comes in there and just wrecks it all because it needs to be rebuilt. This is an arc moment, right? Of like, things are happening, changes are being made. But what I love, you guys, about this Aquarius energy is we have an intuitive knowing of where we need to detach. And this gives us a very human detachment when it comes to things that are very far out of our control. And at the moment, we are all feeling that sense of helplessness. We're all feeling that sense of wanting to speak up, to advocate, wanting to fight for those rights that we have and fight for our fellow human and for the future. And that's all that Aquarius is. That's the motive of Aquarius, you guys, of really saying, what difference can I make as an individual amongst the collective? And how can I also embrace that in others? How can I embrace the genius in others, the weirdness in others, the edginess, the disruptive factor, but in a healthy way, right? I don't know how healthy it can be right now collectively, obviously, with the temperature of everything ramping up, of arguments, of basically everybody starting to stand in that Aries, which is, what do I identify with? And what am I willing to fight for? What am I willing to put myself on the line for? So we're all feeling that sense of wanting to take action and wanting to step up. But I want to urge everybody to have a sense of discernment, to have a sense of caution to this, because we got an Aries moon today, and a lot of us are going to feel that I need to do something now, I need to go, I need to say something. There's a sense of impulsivity where, yes, that comes in and we need to use that. We need to work with that fire. And all of this air, you guys, all of this fixed air in Aquarius. So I want you to look at where you have Aquarius in your birth chart. Go ahead and comment so I can share a little bit more details about what that looks like for you. But for example, for me, I have my Aquarius third house. So I have my North Node in Aquarius. I'm having a North Node return this year. So excited. But this is pushing on my third house. So literally, you guys, Pluto is on my third house being like, are you really doing the thing? Are you really living in your true purpose? I'm gonna whoop your ass into shape, right? Sorry. But it's that energy and that feeling of like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm being watched by like my higher self that's just like, what are you gonna do? And we gotta work with this energy in a way. We have to understand that we want to be the warrior for ourselves. We want to find that bravery, find that courage that has felt like it's kind of been, you know, in the passenger seat for a while. And you guys, on the 26th of January, we have this huge transit happening, okay? We have Neptune moving into Aries from Pisces. So we are literally in the final degrees of Neptune in Pisces. And what that looks like is our collective understanding, our collective union of what makes life spiritual, of what makes the significance of, you know, cycles ending and completing, and, you know, maybe not feeling the readiness of stepping into that new role or that new chapter, but knowing that you're there and being ready anyway, right? Being willing. Like, this is a time, you guys, I really thought about it, especially with this Aquarius stellium. This is a time where, you know, we don't necessarily need the same credentials we did, say, for us 90s babies, okay? We were just like pushed to, you know, excel and go to college and show, you know, our wisdom in that way. And it's very, you know, I'm always like, I've got a third house Aquarius. So I'm like, how are you supposed to do that in a university where you're literally studying somebody else's philosophy? And not saying anything bad, absolutely not, about those that do go to college and universities and everything, but we're living in a time where our energy, our experience, our willingness, and our overall just aura really speaks for itself, you guys. And we have such a strong emphasis with this Aquarius, which is our circle of influence and our tribe and our people, those that we feel so comfortable with being ourselves around. And it's kind of feeling like an answered prayer in a lot of ways, you guys. You know, I know that collectively it's like such a mess, and we all have a valid space to feel our anger, to feel our bitterness and our resentment and our abandonment, and just this sense of like rejection. We're having like this historical rejection moment, you guys, and it's us rejecting as a collective, as a humanity, the things that we no longer want to stand for, the things that we no longer want to see. And we are so close to that moment revealing itself and showing. And we're seeing it in little glimpses throughout different events that are happening, and how that's triggering these emotional responses to be worked on and cleaned up, with that Jupiter in Cancer for sure. But you know, we kind of have to ask ourselves, we're like in this mental void of potential, of possibility, and we have to look at where our joy is driving us, where our curiosity is asking us to look into. And with Aquarius, it might feel random, but it's really not, you guys. It's really those frequencies matching and feeling a little bit maybe edgy or erratic, but also feeling like, wow, that's perfectly aligned. And when we listen to our nervous system with all this Uranian energy, when we listen to our body and the wisdom of our cells, of the water inside of us and our brains and our thought process and our neurons, right? That scientific side. This is matching frequencies. This is matching people to the right people, you know? And it's really a time of stepping into your purpose on such a deep level, not necessarily showing it so much to the world in such a way that feels kind of pressuring. It's more so this internal validation and process of, I know where I'm going. I know the plans that I'm trying to give energy and focus to, and time. And it's really beautiful. So like I said, I have Pluto in my third house right now. I'm working on 2 readings. I just finished a full 2-part reading. I'm going to show you guys. This is so cool. So I'll show you a different chart that doesn't have the name, for privacy. But you guys, check this out. Oh my gosh. I add a little bit of color. I add a little bit of, you know, art in here of what frequency and symbols and colors come through for you. But this is the second reading that I'm working on, which is a year ahead report. And with my work, you guys, third house Aquarius and North Node, I know that writing is literally part of my my purpose. And I know it seems excessive to some to go this far to do the handwritten report, but it's where I find my joy, you guys. It really makes me feel so honored and grateful to be able to give you a body of work that you can study for life, that you can go back to for comfort, for validation, for just deeper understanding, right? And so, yeah, you guys, this ends up being, 7 pages, front to back. Like, it's pretty amazing. We go over everything in your chart, and this is where I can bring my intuitive insight into it, but also the the goods, the astrology, the bulk, the foundation of what you're looking for and what the meanings are and how to kind of understand them naturally in your life and what that looks like. So anyway, this is my full written report. It comes all together. It's my joy. Like I said, you guys, it's so wonderful. And then I have my year ahead forecast too. This one was like 11 pages, I believe, front and back. And then it gets sent to you in this beautiful folder, a lifelong keepsake. So find your focus today. Understand where you might be feeling pulled and distracted and where you really need to come back to center. I think that's like the biggest one of today. We've got that crazy storm coming in too, so stay warm. Stay aware of the emotions that are coming up for you and how to work with them, how to honor them, and how to move through them with more patience, right? So you guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day and of your weekend, and really listening in to those intuition and those thoughts coming up for you of what you need to do and what you don't need to do, right? So you guys are amazing. I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.